Let's take a look at two application problems involving markup. Beginning with question number 1, we're asked, tennis rackets were purchased at a price of $55 less 40% for purchasing more than 100 items, and less a further 25% for purchasing the rackets in October. They were then sold for $54.45. Question A, what is the markup as a percent of cost? Before we get started, let's just go ahead and reread this. We're told that it had a catalog price of $55, but there was a trade discount of 40% and 25%. So let's find out how much each of these rackets were purchased for. And we'll call that a cost. So our cost is the $55. And if we are applying a trade discount, recall the formula net price is equal to the list price times 1 take away your discount. And if you have multiple discounts, you have another factor where you have 1 minus your second discount, and that would be your first discount, and so on and so forth. So for us, our new price will be the cost, and the list price is $55. 1 take away 40%, which as a decimal is 0.4, and 1 take away 25%, which as a decimal is 0.25. So if we compute this, we'll find out how much the cost of each of these tennis rackets was. So 55 times 1 take away 0.4 times 1 take away 0.25. And this means each of those tennis rackets cost $24.75. $24.75. Now we need this value because for question A, we're being asked, what is the markup as a percent of cost? So to calculate the markup, we'll say that M is equal to a rate of markup based on cost, which we'll call R sub C, multiplied to the cost itself, which is $24.75. We'll just write down C for now. So in other words, the markup is a portion of the cost, and we're looking for that rate. So M is equal to what we're looking for, which is the percent of markup, R sub C, times $24.75. Now, as you can see, in order for us to find R sub C, we actually need to know the markup itself. Now, another formula that associates markup is the following, where you have your selling price is equal to your cost plus your markup. And remember, markup can be broken down further into expenses and profit, but that's not important here. Now, the reason why this formula is needed is because we have the selling price of $54.45. We'll substitute that in for S, $54.45. We have the cost, which we calculated moments ago, $24.75. And we can easily isolate for M by bringing that term over. So $54.45 take away $24.75, that's equal to our markup. And let's use our calculator. $54.45 take away $24.75, and we end up getting a markup of $29.70. And now we can use this and substitute it back into this formula to find R sub C. Okay, substituting $29.70 into here, we can now solve for R sub C by dividing both sides by $24.75. So we end up getting R sub C is equal to $29.70 divided by $24.75. Once we divide these two values, you need to immediately multiply by 100%. So $29.70 divided by $24.75 multiplied by 100%, or a factor of 100, and that means our markup as a percent of cost is 120%. Now that's based on cost. In the next example, we're asked, what is the markup as a percent of selling price? The formula to find this is almost identical to the previous formula, M is equal to R sub C times C. But instead of C, we have S. So we're looking for R sub S in the following formula. And all we have to do is substitute values that we've already found. So $29.70, which we found here, goes into M. We're looking for R sub S, and the selling price was given in the question as $54.45. $54.45. And if we solve for R sub S by dividing both sides by $54.45, we get R sub S is equal to $29.70 divided by $54.45, and don't forget to immediately multiply by 100%. So 2970 divided by 5445 multiplied by 100, and we end up with an answer of 54, decimal 54 repeating, which is to two decimal places 54.55%. 54.55% is roughly the markup as a percent of the selling price. And don't forget to conclude with a therefore statement in both of these questions. Let's move on to question number 2. A cookery buys sets of cookware for $45 and marks them up 33 1/3% of cost. So right from the get-go, this right here is the cost, and that is R sub C, the rate of markup based on cost. In question A, what is the selling price of the cookware sets? Let's begin by writing down the formula for selling price. Selling price is equal to the cost plus the markup. And we already know the cost. It's $45, so we can substitute that in for C. We don't know the actual markup, but we can find it using the formula which we used already, where M is equal to R sub C times C. We already know the percentage of markup based on cost, and that's 33 1/3%. And the cost is given to us as $45. Let me show you how to input this into your calculator without having to convert 33 1/3% into a fraction, a non-percentage. Begin by clicking Shift, then that button on this particular model calculator. We type in 33 into that first pocket, and into the second pocket, we type in 1 and 3 at the very bottom. And this is a percentage, so we will click Shift %, then we will multiply that by 45. And essentially, we end up getting a markup of $15. Now, if you don't have these features on your calculator, you would have to divide this value by 100%. That would end up giving you 1/3, and you would take 45 and multiply it by 1/3, and you would get 15. So I'll go ahead now and substitute 15 in for M, and this means that we are selling this set for $60. That is the answer for A. In question B, what is the rate of markup based on selling price? Okay, so markup is equal to R sub S, that's what we're looking for, the rate of markup based on selling price, times S. So markup here is a portion of the selling price. If we're looking for R sub S, we'll divide both sides by S, so we have M divided by S is equal to R sub S. We have our markup already, it's 15. Our selling price is 60, we found that in question A. And then don't forget to multiply this by 100 and you end up getting R sub S. So 15 divided by 60 times 100 is 25%. If you have any further questions based on what we just learned, feel free to use the comment section below. Thank you for watching.